Welcome to my lab. Today I'm showing you how to hatch Nothobranchius killifish embryos. I ordered these from a hobbyist who breeds them. I ordered them on aquabid.com, which is sort of an eBay for fish and fish eggs, and they come sealed in a watertight bag on peat moss. The peat moss is good for them because it provides a bit of an acidic environment, and the embryos develop really well in that environment with a little bit of moisture, but mostly dry. And to hatch these, I like to take a weigh boat and sort through, first of all. So I'll add all of the peat moss onto the weigh boat right now. If you could see these with your naked eye the way I can right now, you can actually see the embryos. They're pretty small, and I like to look at them through a stereoscope that I have here that provides about 10x magnification. That helps me see which ones are really ready to hatch and which ones aren't. You can tell that they're ready to hatch when they're eyed up. That is, that they will have little gold rings around their eyes. And if you can get them against just a white background and shine some light through, you can actually see that they have a circulatory system that's functional and their heart beats, and you'll know then that they are living and ready to hatch. You may even see them twitch. If you are a hobbyist, you can just dump all of your peat moss out and put it in water and try to hatch it, and then anything that doesn't hatch, you can put that peat moss and those embryos back, dry them down a bit, seal them again, apply some heat, maybe a warm environment if you can put them somewhere that you naturally have a little bit of warmth. I use an incubator that has an adjustable temperature. And then you can wait until the rest of them are ready to hatch. Since I have access to the stereoscope, I like to go through and pick out just the ones that are ready to hatch, since they develop asynchronously, and then put the rest back into the plastic bag. So I'll only try to hatch as many as I can find today that are ready. So here's my stereoscope. Let's show you what I'm doing. Put the light on, and then I sort through looking for eyed up embryos. And then I want to put them in some reverse osmosis water I have here in a clear container where I can see that they are in there and they'll be swimming when they hatch. About 2 inches worth. This reverse osmosis water doesn't have any minerals in it because, like I said, the acidic environment is important for them to hatch, and so I'll be adding some peat moss or peat moss extract to this, and that way they get just that and nothing else to interfere. When I'm raising them as juveniles and adults, they thrive in brackish water, so I'll use aquarium salt for that. So I'll show you how I pick them out. When I locate embryos that are ready to hatch, I get the tip of the spatula wet. It's okay to get peat moss in there, you're going to put it in there anyway. And you can use the moisture on the tip of the spatula to attach the chorion of the embryo and pick up just the embryo. That way you don't get more than one if they're close together, and you don't get twigs or other things you don't want. Put it in the water. And just to show, since you don't want to watch me pick through embryos for 45 minutes, I'll just show you that you can scrape off some of the peat moss that you already have into the water to acidify it. Stir it up, make sure any floating embryos sink. And then, because any vertebrate animals at the university are under regulation and they need to be able to be accessed by our veterinary staff, I need to take this to the vivarium. And so I'll just cap that. I'll walk it over, I'll wait a bit to see how many hatch, and I'll update you with that. I've put about 30 eggs into the peat moss to hatch, and I have quite a number of fry hatched right now. This is the GRZ strain, and as they come up to the surface, since the background is dark because of the peat moss, you can see their eyes glow.
They're really easy to spot. I can't count them all, but I think it's easily more than a dozen right now. They were very ready to hatch. This only took about an hour.
It looks like I have at least a dozen fry, and I'll be moving them into reverse osmosis water with no peat moss and feeding them with artemia until they're old enough to take chopped bloodworms. And at the point that they can do that, we move them into the recirculating system and start feeding them whole bloodworms. When they're able to take them, they grow very rapidly, and they have a lifespan in our hands here of about 15 weeks. So this is a very rapidly growing and rapidly aging model for biomedical research.